In an exclusive conversation with India Today's Raj Chengappa, French President Emmanuel Macron has spoken out on the Rafale deal, where there has been massive political uproar in India over this deal by Prime Minister Modi. French President said that the Rafale deal is a win-win for both the countries. He also lauded Prime Minister Modi defending India's industrial interests.
You know, you'd mentioned the Rafale deal, and this has become a subject of controversy over there, with the opposition Congress saying that the government has paid too much. When the Congress was in power, they negotiated a better deal. What is the truth behind this?
Look, I'm not the one to have negotiated, so I'm very cool about that. I have to say that the negotiation was a win-win approach, because your government made, according to me, a very good negotiation, because it preserved the industrial interests of India, and especially the fact that a large part of the production is made there, and the industrial interest of people and workers was very much defended by your Prime Minister. On the other side, I think it's a very good agreement, because it's good for your security, because that's the best-in-class aircraft, and I think it's the best way to be protected in the current environment. And it was a very good operation for France, because India was a very important prospect, and because it is one part of this common agreement. So you always have polemics, and it's normal in a democracy between the government and the opposition. But I have to say, I'm not part of the domestic political life in India, but I think your interests were definitely well defended by your government from an economic, industrial, but as well as strategic point of view.
Why can't the details of the deal be revealed and the whole air cleared up, you know, rather than have these accusations go? What is preventing India and France from saying, look, this is what we bought?
I mean, first of all, because you have commercial agreements, and obviously you have competitors, and these competitors are not supposed to know some details of the deal, because it will not be good for the company itself and for commercial reasons. Every day in our lives, both in India and in France, we don't reveal some information when they have very sensitive, when they are very sensitive for business reasons. And part of the absence of answer on some technical issues is just due to commercial agreements for the interests of the different companies. And second, you have some discussions to be organized by the Indian government, and the Indian government revealed some details of the deal they consider which could be revealed to the opposition and to the parliament. And I'm not the one to interfere into such a discussion, but definitely you have as well a commercial sensitivity for corporates.
Let me go across to my colleague Kamaljeet Kaur Sandhu, who is joining us from the newsroom for more on this story. Kamal, while Rafale deal keeps on hogging the limelight and headlines as far as the Congress BJP problem is concerned, the French president, who is going to be in India tomorrow, is very confident that it was a fantastic deal, and Prime Minister Modi did a good job about it.
Absolutely, Ankit. As a matter of fact, he's not only going to talk about these 26 Rafale deals, which he believes is an internal part of the politics in India. He's more concerned about selling 100 more such fighter jets to India. So they're looking at, it's a 3-day visit. It's going to be a highlight for both the India and the French president. But as far as this meeting is concerned, there may be sparks flying within the parliament and outside it. Remember, Nirmala Sitharaman, the defense minister, had spoken just recently, telling the parliament in a reply to a question asked in parliament. She said that this is a deal where prices cannot be disclosed. This is something the France also respects about India. So they do know that there internal politics, but remember it was the UPA government before that, and they have dealt with France earlier. So the deal was also done in 2007, even though the government is saying it cannot be compared to 126 RCA deal, which the UP had done and floated the proposal in 2007. This is obviously something new. The government is very keen about having this kind of relationship, and obviously the earlier deals which were done with UK used to be the prime focus. Now
Right.
the elbow room has been gotten by the France, and they would want to push in more fighter jets. So they're looking at a greater deal now with India. But remember, as far as the prices still go, Indian government has not yet revealed it to the parliament.
You know, Kamal, also this interview has come, it is exclusive, in fact, has come right at the time when the French president is about to visit India. This big India Today exclusive. It does tell you about the fact that not only the the president of France wants to send out a message to the people of India, also wants to create a sort of a bonhomie, a harmonious environment before his visit to India.
Well, absolutely. It's a 3-day bilateral visit. They want more India and France relationship. They want more students to go their way. They want more tourists coming from India. So they're looking at with bilaterals. But remember, the defense deals are the big ticket deals. And that's where French government would want India to really step in, buy in more aircrafts. The Indian Air Force is obviously wanting those Rafale deals to really go through. We also know, as far as the advanced mechanism is concerned, they want the latest. And that is where the French government really wants to have that upper hand. They do realize that there is a politics to it, but beyond that, they would want to know that whether Indian government can provide that sort of leeway to France. Meanwhile, there is a lot of politics back home. We know Rafale deal has been under the scanner. The Congress government even questioning Prime Minister Narendra Modi's own personal integrity. Now, that's not really been harmed in a public sort of a way, but they do understand, and they have not disclosed what the opposition wants is the pricing. What, however, the government has told earlier also is that the price is much lesser compared to what the UP had done with France earlier. So again, it's going to be a lot of back and forth. There may be a lot of heat generated. But for India and France on the bilateral front, this is a step forward.
Stay on with me, Kamal. We are also being joined by Supriya Bharadwaj, our colleague who is joining us for more on this story. And Supriya, if I can very quickly come to you, this will blunt the Congress's attack. At least the government would use this big exclusive interview of India Today with the French president to blunt the attack of the Congress on the Rafale deal.
Well, absolutely, yes. As far as the government is concerned, they will go all out and they will try to show the people, both in the House and outside also, that see, this is what the French authorities have to say, and at the same time also as to how there was nothing wrong doing in the Rafale deal. But as far as the opposition concerned, they're still up in arms. They're saying that in the House, the government has to disclose the amount, that is the money that was being given to purchase the Rafale deal. A full-blown political war is already on as far as the Rafale deal is concerned. But yes, somewhere this way interview gives the arsenal to the government to counter the opposition's claim.
You know, this would, of course, Supriya, would also be taken as an endorsement of Prime Minister Narendra Modi by the BJP. This interview to India Today, in which the French president said that not only he hails Prime Minister Modi's vision for India, also talks about how the Prime Minister has put India's industrial growth, in the forefront, is going to be a big talking point.
French president is all set to tour the country, and this very interview of his will be setting the stage for the entire visit of his. And it is very important from the Indian point of view, because in a way the France is the one which is really having a strong economy as far as the European nations are concerned. And if France is on your side, this has a lot of meaning. And with the French president coming out and hailing the Prime Minister Modi and his government, will certainly give more arsenal to the government of India. And as far as the opposition is concerned, they will have to redraw their strategy vis-a-vis Rafale deal and the other issues related to employment that they have been talking about.
Supriya, Kamal, thank you so much for joining me with all those details on this big exclusive interview of the French president Emmanuel Macron with India Today's Raj Chengappa. Just not only what the president, in fact, spoke to Raj Chengappa, he also spoke about his personal chemistry with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He downplayed the age difference between the two leaders and claimed that he has never thought that age is going to be an hindrance in the personal chemistry of both these leaders. Listen.
You had mentioned Prime Minister Modi, and there is an age gap of something like 27 years between you all, and yet you all got along very well when you all met the first time in this very office in June. What is the chemistry that you have between Mr. Modi and you?
Look, I think you can have a chemistry even if you're not part of the same generation. And my private life is probably one of the best illustrations of this kind of chemistry. I was very impressed by Prime Minister Modi's vision, and especially his strong commitment for climate. And we will deliver part of this agenda together in India, especially with this International Solar Alliance and our common leadership for this alliance in order to deliver concrete projects. But I think the chemistry is due to the fact that he's a very wise man with a personal philosophy and a taste for independence, I would say, from a personal basis, and is very much attached to the sovereignty of your country, as I am very attached to the sovereignty of my country. And I think that's a mix of personal background with a difference of cultures and civilization, but some common features and common key elements in terms of political philosophy: sovereignty, global issues, climate, and this strong commitment to young people.
Prime Minister Modi, and there is an age gap of something like 27 years between you all.
I think you can have a chemistry even if you're not part of the same generation. And my private life is probably one of the best illustrations. I think the chemistry is due to the fact that he's a very wise man and is very much attached to the sovereignty.
You had mentioned the Rafale deal.
Both in India and in France, we don't reveal some information when they are very sensitive for business reasons. The Indian government revealed some details of the deal they consider which could be revealed to the opposition and to the parliament. And I'm not the one to interfere into such a discussion, but definitely you have as well a commercial sensitivity for corporates.
Don't miss this exclusive interview at 8 p.m. tonight. This big India Today exclusive before the visit of the French president to India now.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.